Wealth of knowledge and experience to our conversations. Each episode, we dive into topics that enrich our lives, from education and personal development to health, wellness, and the art of jewelry. Join me as we explore inspiring stories, expert insights, and practical advice to help you to live a blessed and fulfilling life. And thank you again for tuning in to Sweet Blessings, where every conversation is a treasure. Let's get started. All right, so welcome. And this evening, I do have a special guest for us. I am going to take a brief uh, commercial in a few minutes. We have a welcome here from CTR Media Network saying, hello, giving us some hearts. Thank you, sweetie. I really appreciate it. We need all the love that we can possibly get. So, the purpose of this podcast is to help people live a fulfilling life. And so I provide that by workshops and guest speakers and just to make people more aware and knowledgeable of the things that are surrounding them that might affect their everyday life. So this evening, I have a beautiful person here. She is just phenomenal. And if you notice, I don't know who that is, but if you notice, I talked about spam last week and scams and all those type of things and how it affects you. So she's going to talk a little bit about that today. So I'm just going to take a brief commercial and we'll be right back, and I'm going to introduce her because she has a lot of knowledge to give us this evening. So hold on just one moment.
Join the She Trucking Foundation today and be a part of a supportive community of women in the trucking industry. Unlock exclusive access to valuable resources, including mentorship, educational workshops, and networking opportunities. Whether you're an experienced professional or just starting your trucking journey, She Trucking is here to empower you and help you thrive. Visit www.shetrucking.com to join us and drive your trucking career to new heights.
All right, we are back, and just hold on 1 minute. I am going to bring her to the camera, to the thing, and just wanted to say this one thing before I bring her on because I love this. It says, you've heard of Susan Ullman and you heard of Dave Ramsey, but have you heard of Michelle Green? So I want to welcome Michelle Green to us this evening. She is our special guest.
Hi.
Hello, how are you? And thank you so much for coming on this
You're
evening. She has a wealth of
welcome.
knowledge to share with you uh, this evening. Um, Galen, I want to put this on. I always like to put the comments on here. Is saying hello.
Hi, Galanda.
Oh, it's Yolanda. Okay. And
Yes,
she's
yes.
also saying hello. And just welcome and welcome and welcome everyone. So this lady here, you all, is just phenomenal. Okay. She is, and I already gave that introduction, so I don't need to say anything else. So we're going to start right off into it because she has so much knowledge to share
Oh
with
my
us.
goodness.
So the first question that I'm going to ask you is that tell us a little bit about your background and how you
Well,
got started as a financial advisor.
I was born and raised in a small town in South Carolina and raised on a farm.
Okay.
And so, being raised on a farm, everybody has to participate in activities to make sure that the farm is ran properly. And everyone has to have, like, of course, there's a surplus of food, and we had the farm animals and all that, but I always felt like I just wanted more. So I felt like that I didn't just want to stop at the point of farming. I wanted more in life. And I always was engaged in like TV, and I'm like, how can these people live this way when, we have to work real hard and get our
Mhm.
hands and feet dirty and, dig our hands into the ground in order for us to have a living. And so what actually happened is some time went by as I was growing up. My mom ran up some credit cards in my name. And basically, what happened is she ran up some credit cards in my name. So as I was a kid growing up, I didn't know that credit was so important. So what I ended up doing is I had already had like a mindset towards getting out of poverty. It's what I thought I was in poverty because being raised on the farm, you get your hand me
Mhm.
downs, and it's not that there's anything wrong with that, but I just thought that there was a much better life from what I could see on TV. Okay.
I understand.
I
I
just thought it was
understand.
a much better life. So I was actually introduced originally to a couple of friends at the age of 17. I went to a meeting about finances and learned a little bit about investing, planning for my future, and things that I had never heard of before because they don't teach this in school, right?
No, they don't.
That's right, they don't. And so what I ended up doing is waiting until I turned 19 a couple of years later, and I went back to those same people and I was like, "Listen, sign me up. What I got to do?" So I
Mhm.
went I went to school, got my licensing and all of that, and I found that in finance, basically people did not understand Basic Finance 101, which is what led me into the credit repair business that I originally started of my own. But that's pretty much how I got into it. It was like coming out of, teenagehood, thinking about you want to do better, making some money in finance, getting licensed and all, teaching people about how finances work. But being a youngster, when you're a youngster and you haven't been married, you don't have any kids, a lot of people don't want to listen to you.
You are so right. But I did notice that you mentioned Basic Finance 101. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And so, can you explain that to me and to the audience? And how did it lead to the Kingdom Builders Credit Repair?
Yes, absolutely. So, Basic Finance 101, what I call Basic Finance 101, is simply where people don't understand how to manage their money. And they don't know, like I didn't know being raised on the farm, what is an investment? And
Mm.
how do I plan for a future? And how do I protect my money? How do I protect, the things that I'm accruing as I grow in life? And so I found that there was a real serious problem because when I would go to my clients, they weren't interested in investing. They weren't interested in insurance and protecting their housing. They weren't really interested in how to pay their houses off early. They weren't interested in any of those things. They were interested in, like, okay, well, tell me about how to fix my credit so that I can or can have some money, to set aside for an investment. Tell me how to manage my money because I never learned how to manage my finances.
So it's a
And
lack of knowledge.
it's a absolute, that's one
Mhm.
of my favorite scriptures is without knowledge, the people will perish, right? So
Okay.
yes, ma'am. That's
I'm, I'm
exactly
with you.
that's that's exactly what happened. And so I saw this great need because it was like everyone that I talked to, nobody was interested in the second tier, is what I call of finances, because they didn't understand the basics. And the basis is, how do you budget? How do
Mhm.
what are you supposed to pay for once you get a job and you're starting to work and you're in the workforce? What kind of things are you supposed to be doing with your money as you elevate and you get a better job and you bring in more income? Is it just supposed to be spent on clothes and food and just
Mhm.
silly stuff that get you nowhere, creating liabilities? So that was the reason why I went into just listening to my clients to see exactly what it is that they needed and decided to open up a credit repair business in 2006.
Well, Michelle, that is one of the things that, and I'm going to say this, and I'm not trying to be, biased or anything, but as blacks on a whole do not know how to budget,
Yes,
and
ma'am, that's
and
true.
I have, and I'm telling you, that's one of the reasons why we have to have some way of getting that knowledge out to people. That because you don't get it in school. Even though I can say that I went to school, I got a bachelor's, a master's, et cetera, et cetera. So
Mhm.
you never get that unless you are going into business.
That's right.
If you are pursuing a career in business, then you will get all of those types of things. I was just fortunate that I was able to, and I'm going to tell you this little bitty story, and then we're going to get back on task.
Yes, ma'am, absolutely. No problem, Miss Anna.
But I had the I was fortunate enough to take a couple of business courses, and I took them at Northwestern University.
Okay.
If you know anything about Northwestern, it is one of the top 10. It's a top school.
It's prestigious,
Yes,
right?
it is. And so
Yes.
I was in there in that class. I was really basically, it might have been one or two of us in there. And there was a lot of, well, I'm going to say Caucasian, Japanese, Chinese, different
Wow.
types of nationalities in there.
Diversity,
Yes,
yes.
very diverse.
Okay.
And I struggled with that
Mm.
class.
Mhm.
But if anybody knows me, they know I am not going to be defeated. Okay.
All right
I
now.
was determined
To
because
keep going.
I had never had it before. And so it was all foreign to me. But I came out of that class with a B, and I was proud of that B
Oh,
because those people
congratulations.
in that class were
That's
like
huge.
geniuses. Okay.
Wow, wow,
They
wow.
So, needless to say, I didn't, but it helped me as far as my business and all of those things. But I'm a firm believer in what you're saying that it needs to be taught, and we need to make people aware of it. Some people don't even know how to budget.
That's correct.
So I am so glad that you came on to share some knowledge because sometimes when I come on and share knowledge, like remember what you said at the beginning that you're young and they don't listen. Well, I'm old and
Correct.
sometimes they don't listen. Okay. I'm just telling it like it is. But if you just, I feel like if you reach just one person or two,
Absolutely.
because
Yes.
that trickles, that does trickle. But we're going to stop right here and we're going to take a little brief commercial and then we're going to come back. And I want to, I'm really enjoying this.
Me
We're going to come
too.
back and we're going to talk about the Kingdom Development Center. So
All right.
just keep that in, mind. Let me get over here to my commercials. Okay, we are back. Soul Wigs is one of my sponsors. You
Hey, swing it, swing
affiliate. So
it.
every
I
once in a
love
while,
it.
I do come on and I wear some of their wigs as well. So we're going to get back. But welcome back, everyone. I am here this evening with Michelle Green. She is a financial advisor. She is really and truly, she has quite a many names. That's just one of them. But she's also a professional in a business, a life coach. Uh, I just let her tell you, but she developed a development center in 2011, and I want her to tell us about that center and the type of services that it offers.
Okay, yes, ma'am. So, in lieu of the credit repair business, where we teach people all about credit education, things that they need to understand about budgeting, finances in any form, we also help with establishing new credit lines. We saw that there was a, a set of people who weren't able to afford our services. So, what we do, as we're doing today, we offer speaking engagements, we offer workshops for those that are less fortunate to be able to come in and teach even the school age children, from, like, I've taught at least from age 6, I would say, all the way to through adulthood. And what we do is we basically offer our credit repair services to help them to get on their feet, starting with resumes, helping them with their credit, to pull their credit from the 3 credit bureaus, looking at what needs to be removed, looking at what needs to be established, and really just helping them to have a better quality of life through the services that we offer in our main credit repair company. In addition to that, we have a opportunity for them to become entrepreneurs. So we give them some of our core courses in the community development center that we have. Yes, ma'am. And so what we do, oh, go ahead, Miss
Go
Ann,
ahead.
I'm
I was going
sorry.
to tell them how would they, what would they need to do to, because I got it going on the bottom. But anyway, what do they need to do if they wanted to get in contact with you?
If they wanted to get in contact with me for credit repair services, they can go to our website. It's www.kingdombuilderscreditrepair.com. And that is spelled all the way out, kingdombuilderscreditrepair.com. And there is a link that you can click on for our services for the business, for the for profit. It is actually less than $100 for you to join. And altogether, the services are less than $700. Now, that is a big plus for credit repair because mostly you're going to pay about $1,500 for the credit repair services just for basic services. And we include the budget, we include the new lines of credit on top of our credit education. And I'll talk about a little bit of our secrets in the credit industry that we share with our clients in just a minute. But in order for you to contact us with Kingdom Builders Community Development Center, which is our nonprofit, I'm sorry, I've got to get it together. I got to get it together over here.
So take your time. Take your time.
Yes, ma'am. But we do have our for profit, which is where we help the less fortunate. So that could be any range from, like, domestic violence um, situations, people who may be homeless, coming from shelters, maybe just coming out of jail, prison, things like that, that we also in our community. And community means not just here in South Carolina, but all throughout the United States, and some that we've helped that have been international, where we help them to pretty much get on their feet through financial literacy.
Okay, great. Because that was going to be my next question. Was it just local, or do you go all over. And I'm so glad, because I'm an early childhood teacher. Can't forget here.
Oh wow, I didn't know
I
that,
am.
Miss Anna.
And so that is very important to me. So when you said from age 6, I said, "Oh my God,"
Yes,
because I am a firm believer. In order for us to be successful any race, you must start young.
you
Okay,
should.
you
You
have to
really should.
instill those skills into them at a young age. And I always kind of related to walking as a baby,
Right.
because as a baby, you struggle to walk. It's a slow process. It's a process, but if you keep doing it and you're consistent with it, you will be thinking. And it's just the same thing, I think, with finance too. You don't know,
Absolutely.
it's a trial and error, but you have to learn. But it needs to be taught, I do believe, at an early age. So hats off to you for
Indeed.
that. So I am grateful for that. And that is one of the things of my podcast, because I really feel like it should be a family podcast where everybody can learn. Your children can learn as well. So I will keep that in mind, because I do work with daycares.
Oh, nice.
And yes, I do. I help them get their national accreditation. And so therefore,
Okay.
I will talk to them. I work with, right now I have about 18 sites, but I will talk to them in relationship to maybe some finances they might have, because they have staff. So
Absolutely.
they might have someone that might be interested in that as well. So I will reach out to them as well. So I'm learning as well as we go along. So we were talking about the center, because I can go straight off and do something else. My mind is basically like my children. The little baby.
Yes.
The attention span is like, whoa, it's gone. Okay, but
That's okay.
this is serious.
That's okay, Miss
All right,
Anna.
so we talked about the center and what it offers, and that is a great opportunity. It's so great to give back, and
And
when
I
I
forgot, I'm sorry, I forgot to say, Miss Anna, that if they're interested in going to that website is www.kbcdc.org.
okay,
kbcdc.org. And I see you have it going across the screen right
yes, I
now.
do.
Awesome. Awesome.
Just stop me, okay?
I'm sorry.
That's quite all right. Okay, we are going to talk a little bit about KBBU now.
All right.
Now, for those of you who don't know what KBBU is, it's the Kingdom Builders Business University. Okay. And I would like for her to tell us a little bit about the core courses that they offer, and also how does it empower entrepreneurs?
Okay, absolutely. So, with Kingdom Builders Business University, it actually grew out of Kingdom Builders Credit Repair. We help thousands, millions of clients throughout the years that we've been doing credit repair. I actually started the credit repair business before 2006, as like my trial era, I guess you could say. But being in the credit repair industry, we were able to see like people from all different walks of life, different races, different tongues, all over. And many of those entrepreneurs, even though they were working on their credit, they would come to me and they would ask me questions about being a business owner. And I would have solutions to their problems, but I didn't know exactly like how much information I knew.
Mhm.
Because I have been a business owner since I was 19 years old. And so, as a financial advisor, independent contractor, and then opened my own business there shortly thereafter. So, Kingdom Builders Business University kind of came up by default. The Lord laid on my heart one day that I need to do a in-person session for a handful of entrepreneurs that really were asking me to start a school or some type of educational class about how to do business, what things to look out for, and especially as it relates to business credit, which is totally different from personal credit. It works a whole different way, it's a different arena altogether.
Mhm.
So when um, that happened in May of 2018, we tried a 4-week course trial and it just exploded. Um, the only downside to it was that the people who were interested in coming couldn't actually make the day hours. So when COVID happened, we were able to go all virtual, and that's when it really took off.
Oh, yeah.
It took off. So, what we teach at Kingdom Builders Business University is we really are looking for the entrepreneur who is struggling out there trying to do business by themselves, really don't know the lingo of the business world. They're not really educated. So, we're looking to teach them and walk with them through their business life. We are there to provide business setup education. So that means that anything from the actual formation of your company, getting a phone number, having emails, you know,
Mhm.
addresses, buildings, we help you with all of that. Your taxes, your business bank accounts. We do copyrights, trademarks, things that people know about. Maybe they have a piece to the puzzle, but they don't have the
And the
whole
whole
pie. They don't have the whole pie and they don't understand the lingo. So that's just our first course is business setup. Then we take them into business credit funding and money. And we break down a budget from a business perspective, in addition to the business credit, vendor accounts, how to get the loans, how to get the grants, Miss Anna, how to get the grants. We probably have, I haven't actually calculated the most accurate number so
Mhm.
far this year, but I know that we are somewhere in the vicinity of 300,000 to probably about $400,000 in funding that we have allowed, helped our students to receive on the business side for their businesses this year so far. So that's quite a bit of money. That's
Ye
quite a bit of
yes,
money.
yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Okay. So we have the second course is the business credit funding and money. And then we go into the systems because I've also found that one of the breakdowns for business owners is that we don't understand that we have to have a system. We have to have some type of management of our organizations in order for them to continue to grow. And I've been in business over 30 plus years, so I know a little something, something about the systems. And so we teach the automated systems. We show you how to do payroll and HR, how to set up all of the systems that you need in order for your business to operate, in order for it to be managed well. We also go into your life management because that's something that nobody really talks about is the lifestyle of an entrepreneur. So
Mhm.
our third core course, Miss Anna, is business management, business life and business management. Yes, ma'am. And
Okay.
th- and then
Great.
finally, yes, ma'am. Finally, we have our business marketing, media, and sales. And with our marketing, media, and sales, I actually bring in my expert coach, Dr. Tina J. Ramsey with CTR Media Network in the house.
All right now.
Okay, all right. Now I've taught that course myself. However, I prefer if I can have an expert coach, instructor, teacher to present the class, then hey, have at it. I
Yeah,
don't mind stepping aside. I know my lane is
yeah,
finances.
yeah.
So Dr. Tina comes into our classes. She teaches them about marketing and media, and then we close out with sales, which is like a rejection course, and also a course where we walk through a sales conversation to help the entrepreneur understand what it is that they are missing when they have a conversation with a potential client and they aren't making the sale. They're not closing the deal. And so that is our fourth core course. But all together collectively, what we do, we have two options for our entrepreneurs. They can come in as an individual private session and go through those core courses with me individually, or they can actually come into our undergraduate class, which we do have one coming up on August the 21st of this year in just a couple of weeks.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. And we're super excited about our class because we're only going to take about 50 students this time. So if you haven't signed up, you can go to www.kbbullc.com, and we are going to help you to collaborate with other entrepreneurs in addition to teach you these different core courses. And you're going to have private sessions on top of that, and you get to graduate with a certificate.
All right now. All right. I find the university very interesting.
Yes, ma'am.
And let me tell you why, and you can maybe shed some light. I feel like this would be a great opportunity. Like I have a team. I'm a jury consultant
Oh,
as
okay.
well. I didn't know you
Know
know, but
that, Miss Hannah.
yes, the name of Tina, the jury that Tina wears, Dr. Ramsey wears, is from
Oh,
my jury.
all right. Go
And
ahead
so,
now. Get in there.
but I do have a team, and I think this would be something great to be able to offer to my team because
Absolutely.
a lot of times, you find people, I've been, dibbling and dabbling myself in entrepreneur for a while. And so over the course of the time, like I said, I've learned different things, just like you. And I find that people just don't know. And so this would be a great opportunity. We're going to talk about that because this would be a great opportunity to offer them, to help them in their business, because I have done workshops on businesses, and a lot of times there's a cycle. There's what we
Mm-hmm.
call a stages of a business. And once people reach a certain stage in their business, they either going to start all over again from the very beginning, or they're going to sell that business or go a different branch or branch out into something else. And so
That's true.
just like you were saying, that people just don't know. And another thing is, I find that we just don't have the money to do that
Right.
investing. And so that's another thing where I would like to, uh, help people in learning how to invest, and
Yes,
support
ma'am.
and everything. But we're going to take another little commercial break, and then we're going to come back, and I'm going to ask you another question.
Sure.
You can think about it while I'm gone. I want to know what you want to leave us with this evening. So when we come
Absolutely.
back, let us know that.
I
Hold on.
will do.
CTR Media Network is now accepting new podcasters to join our growing network that's reaching 350 million global listeners. Have you heard? CTR Media Network offers podcast production, podcast training, distribution, and product placement. Book us for your next event or schedule an interview with CTR Media Network podcasters today. To learn more, go to ctrmedianetwork.com.
All right, we are back, and I am Anna. I'm the host of Sweet Blessings, the Anna L. Brothers Show and Podcast. And my special guest this evening is Michelle Green, and she is from North Carolina. Am I right?
South
South
Carolina.
Carolina. Look, I always get them. That's why I said, "Am I right?" Because I always get them wrong. I always get those wrong.
That's okay.
But and she is she's really gave us a lot of information this evening, from credit repair to and how we can get in touch with her. She didn't tell us a little bit. One more thing before I asked her this last question. But she did not tell us there's some forms that I did put on here that I think are very important. And the first one was the credit repair form. And this is, you can go here. This is her link. Am I correct?
Yes, ma'am.
For the credit repair form. So I think that's important. So if you want to apply for that, you should uh, do that as well.
Absolutely. Yes.
And then the other one was for the university, if they wanted to apply for the university, because you did talk about the university. And she is offering a course that's coming up in August 21st.
First.
So if you're interested in that, this is the form that you would fill out for that. Okay. And I believe you can go to this website for all of that information. So please look into that. This is a great opportunity. I know that she's offering that course, or she's offering something at a very, very minimum price. I did see it. I wanted to advertise it for her, but it was a TikTok. So I didn't know how to. I'm gonna be honest, because I'm just not that savvy with it. But I didn't know how to pull it down so that I could show that she is offering this class. But I will. She's gonna send me. Look. She's gonna send me that so I can post it. I will post it so that if anyone is interested, it'll have all the information and stuff on it for that.
Yes.
But I do want to ask her one last question, and that one last question is, what would you like to leave the audience with this evening?
Oh, so many things that are running through my mind right now.
Tell us all.
But the, well, I would like to share, when it comes to us and our money, we need to really think about what is our end goal for our lives. When God created the heavens and the earth, He was already at the end of the thing. That's why He's called Alpha and Omega. So when we think about our lives, we want to think about what is it that we want to have achieved by the end of our full life cycle. And that's 120 years, okay? 120 years that God has given us. So what I want to leave is that when it comes to our money, when it comes to our lifestyle and how we're going to live that quality of life, let's start with just understanding how to budget. I want us to consider the things that we do. Most of the time when we are calculating in a budget, we tend to look at the things that we pay for per month. But let's break down our budgets into things that we do, like going back to school. How much money do we spend per year on clothes and shoes and supplies? Another thing that we can look at is when we spend money on our birthdays. A lot of times we have our birthday, our spouse or significant other birthday, our children's birthday, our parents' birthdays, or our siblings, our cousins, best friends. And if you add that total up, you do have the money to be able to change your financial life. You have the money to be able to have a more quality life. And let's not talk about the holidays that we pour our money into. Every single month, there is something that will take our money from us. If we buy into what the world is telling us. So when it comes to holidays, how much money do you spend at Christmas? How much money do you spend on Thanksgiving? How much money do you spend for New Year's, Mother's Day, Father's Day. Now, Father's Day is not that much. You know, we get them a card and put a $5 in there, 10 or 20 or something. But I'm just saying it's the truth. Because in our budget, one of the things that always shocks our clients is when we look at the real numbers of where your money actually goes. And believe me, we're going to look at every single penny. Okay. But when we look at that budget, we see that these are areas that we don't consider where we are spending money and it is costing us basically our livelihood. So I want to leave with you, everyone, that let's just start there. Let's start with calculating how much we're spending frivolously, that we don't have a set amount of money set aside as a goal to stop at. Because if there's no goal that you're going to cap it off at, then guess what? You're just going to spend it all. And that's usually what happens. So I wouldn't say that it's only the economy and the economy being so bad with everything being high, inflation continuously going up, but it's also our mindsets. And let's talk about the eating out every day. How much money do you spend, Miss Anna? How much money do we spend on average for breakfast every day, 5 days a week? How much money do we spend in lunch? We go to lunch and that's another 20. And then we look at maybe dinner and I'm looking at dinner right now because I gotta go find some food. I'm serious though.
I know.
And so we're talking about food that's gonna run us average like $30, $40, especially if you got children that you're trying to feed and a significant other. Like, that's a lot of money that you're spending. And we always complain that, we don't have it, we don't have it, we don't have it. So investing into a personal credit repair program so that you can better your life, or investing into entrepreneurship. Maybe you're tired of working on the job and you're trying to get your business off the ground, or maybe you are full-time as an entrepreneur, but you have not met six figures yet. Or maybe you have met six figures and you're trying to break the cap of going from a six-figure to a seven-figure earner. That's what these services are all about. So let's just start with those ideas of how we can change our quality of life and really begin to live the life that God promised us.
All right. Thank you so much. That has been so, and let me see if I pronounce it. Go.
Yolanda.
You said, that's me. That's me. That's me. I'm with you. I'm with you. But I also want to I hope you all enjoyed this. It has been such a pleasure having Michelle Green here. I'm so glad that she agreed to come and kind of help us out a little bit because, myself, I have had identity theft, just all kinds of things for quite some time now. It's just didn't something that just didn't happen. And sometimes people just don't talk about it.
Right.
They hide it or they're ashamed. I'm not shamed at all because those are things that you just don't have any look at you just don't have it. You just don't have any control over. Those are people who make their living making other people suffer. But there's some, I know that there's some steps and that we can all take to help in that situation. And that's why I'm in this situation now with Facebook, because someone hacked into my account. And so it caused the whole thing. And it's so, I always tell people it's so strange that others can hack in, but then I can't get in.
Mm-hmm.
It's
your account.
It's my account. But they have let others come in, and then I can't get in. So I just, it's just best for me just to go on. And so that's just basically what I did. But I want to thank you so much. And as I leave this evening, I've asked her to stay on just a little bit. I'm going to take her from the screen.
Thank you for having me, Miss Anna.
I do want to say this before you do leave. I hope that in some kind of way we have inspired you this evening. And I hope also we have encouraged you. And I'm hoping that we have empowered you to live a more healthier lifestyle. And so I'm going to bid Michelle bye, and I'm going to close out the program. And I've also asked her to come back again because she still has some more things that she could talk to us about. Okay.
Absolutely. Thank you
All right.
so much for
Oh,
having
oh,
me.
you are so welcome. It has been such a pleasure. I want to remind everyone at the bottom, you'll see subscribe to my YouTube channel. I need those subscriptions, y'all. I'm trying to build that audience. Come on. All right. So have a great evening, everyone. And I will see you all next week, the same time, 7:30 Central Standard Time.